What's up? What's up, everybody? Armchair Quarterbacks here for another Week 9 recap. On this one, we have My Chubb is Broken versus Jacks on Jacks Off. That is Manny's team winning with 149.86 points to Shawn's 77.78 points, laying the beat down. So let's take a look here at Manny's team. He started this week Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Deontay Johnson, Joe Mixon, Rachaad White, TJ Hawkinson, Nico Collins, and Jahan Dotson. So what did you see with Manny's team here?
Oh man, let's see. There's just a perfect storm here. First off, you have that positive correlation here with a QB wide receiver stack. Something that you typically see in DFS. So when you get these two guys that are combining for, what is that, 51, almost 52 points on two players, that's pretty solid here. Deontay Johnson, really solid game here. Solid stat line even without a touchdown. So really good there. I think the biggest surprises I'm going to say here is the Joe Mixon. You know, he does get some receiving work here, but he saved with a touchdown. Finally finds the end zone. And then the one that impresses me the most, I think, on his entire team is Rachaad White.
Yeah.
I know a lot of analysts were talking about his usage. Not necessarily he was saying a buy low or anything, but you know, this is kind of what we were hoping Rachaad White would turn out to be this season. So I don't know if it's just something that is clicking with Baker Mayfield or if it was game script, what have you. But
I think it's a little bit of both. With Tampa Bay kind of, you know, playing from the behind position, so they're playing catch up. But also, he's even throughout the season, he's had fairly decent rapport chemistry with Baker Mayfield.
So I mean, he definitely is helped by the two touchdowns. You know, without two touchdowns, he only scores 12, 13 points.
Yeah.
You know, you'll take 13 to 20 points. That's not bad here.
I'm just seeing this. I'm looking at his receiving line for the entire season. He only, out of all of his targets for the entire season, he only has one target that didn't get caught. Everything else he's caught. That's crazy.
So just like Kamara, you know, the safe check downs.
That is ridiculous.
So TJ Hawkinson, he looks like he's probably going to be, he might be the safest player on Minnesota.
Yeah.
And whether you call it blessing in disguise or what have you, what was it, Clay and Tune?
For Arizona?
That went out with a who was the backup of Minnesota? Okay, so, and then he gets the concussion, and then you have Josh Dobbs come in, and that was beautiful for everyone in fantasy, even if you don't have Bijan Robinson. You know, if you have Drake London or if you drafted Kyle Pitts, it's just a beautiful sight to see Arthur Smith lose here.
Yep. And I'll say for TJ Hawkinson, I think moving forward, if they stick with Josh Dobbs, it's going to look great for him. Josh Dobbs, when he was with Arizona, he was targeting Zach Ertz like a beast. And these 12 targets in this game right here should show he's going to get targeted a lot.
And I mean, Josh Dobbs has turned out to be pretty decent. You know, when I see him throwing up all those, just like racking up, you know, random fantasy points, it just reminds me of Fitzpatrick. You know,
he's
Fitzmagic.
When I watch him, he's not the best thrower, but he's willing to risk throwing the ball, and
that's what you need for fantasy.
He saves himself with the rushing, so it makes him look better.
Well, I mean, even like Jameis Winston, you know, remember him and Tampa Bay.
Yeah, you would take all the INTs with all the touchdowns.
Yeah, if you know, INTs are only -1,
Yeah.
You could throw 3 or 4 of those, get -4 points. But I mean, if you're putting up 4 or 5 touchdowns, and the A dot is just amazing,
Yep.
you know. Um, so that was pretty decent. Nico Collins here has been pretty safe. I probably like Tank Dell more if I'm looking at one of the pass catchers here in Houston. We already know what Nico Collins is. His third year, kind of expect, safety. I think Tank Dell has the upside there,
Right.
but at least Nico Collins is safe for Manny here. And then Jahan Dotson here, especially with Curtis Samuel being out and injured. Really solid stat line here.
Yep. Agreed. Taking a look at Manny's bench here. He picked up Keaton Mitchell from Baltimore. I was really bummed when he picked him up because I was actually looking to pick him up when I was searching for him on free agency and waiver wire. He was gone. Couldn't find him. And then I saw that Manny picked him up. Really bummed me out.
I was going to say, he was pretty quick on that. I didn't even, I was like, when was the last time I heard that name, Keaton Mitchell?
Yeah.
And I mean, the hype was there towards the beginning of the season,
Yep.
Because we already know what Justice Hill is, and so there was that debate of who's behind J.K. Dobbins, should he get hurt. We already know what Justice Hill and Gus Edwards are, and everyone was banking on Mitchell being, possibly the sleepy guy or the sneaky guy or the sleeper.
Yeah.
So,
all right, so let's move over here to Shawn's team. Shawn started Lamar Jackson, Devontae Adams, Jamar Chase, Jonathan Taylor, Kareem Hunt, Mark Andrews, Mike Evans, and Adam Thielen. So taking a look here, I don't know if you saw those reports or rumblings, but I saw that there were some people saying, you know what, maybe it's time to kind of bench Devontae Adams for now. Do you see any of those?
I did not see that. I know I was contemplating sending a trade offer to Shawn for Devontae Adams. I've been kind of hunting trades lately, just for the heck of it.
Yeah.
Part of that's just taking the risk, possible upside, switching things up.
Right.
Especially I'm sure Shawn's got to be frustrated with Adams here. Your Jacoby Myers has been getting a lot of the safety, the safest throws, and so I mean, I think it was, you did mention that Shawn didn't really want to trade any of his players. He wanted to write it out. But I would say, look for the trades. If you could get something like Jamar Chase, you could, depending on what you want to do you want more depth or do you want to consolidate? Looks like here he already has Aaron Jones, on the bench. He could be coming in. Is that going to be pretty decent? Khalil Herbert should be coming off of IR. I believe he was limited in practice today.
Yep. Deebo Samuel should be coming back.
Deebo Samuel should be coming back. So, if Devontae Adams is your weak spot at this point, we have less than 2 weeks left until trade deadline. Look for something there, whether it's this, Kareem Hunt, Mike Evans or Adam Thielen. I know Adam Thielen's been pretty decent this year.
Yeah.
Past couple games has been kind of a, aberration, but just see. I would just recommend. I don't know if I'd bench Adams, for the upside, but if you're worried about that, then trade him.
Yeah. I think most of those reports that I saw saying bench Adams was more so like you had Adams and say Amon-Ra, right? You had like that 1-2 turn or whatever. And then off of the waiver wire, you were able to pick up like Puka or Tank Dell, something that was giving you depth. And then now all of a sudden your depth piece is becoming your wide receiver 1. So I think that's more so the reports that I saw. That's what they were talking about. Like if you had that ability to bench him, maybe you might want to look at doing that, especially looking at, the schedule it's not the best schedule. It's not the worst schedule either. But especially, he doesn't have his quarterback anymore. So
yeah,
it's going to be up and down.
I mean, look at this right now. You bench Adams here. You put Jamar Chase in the number one. You bump Mike Evans up to the number two. You keep Thielen here in the flex. You have Aaron Jones throw in there.
Yep.
And what Kareem Hunt is now your flex down here.
Yep.
Or you have Deebo Samuel coming back, or Khalil Herbert. So I mean, yeah. I mean, I think the one thing that was kind of making me hesitant on even putting in an offer is Devontae Adams has a bye week in week 13. I already have 3 players with buys week 13. That'd be pretty much me forfeiting it. So
yeah, I agree. Moving on, looking here, we were talking about Jamar Chase having the dealing with a back injury there. You know, he's also got kind of a rough-ish schedule the next couple of weeks, especially going up against Baltimore in Baltimore. That's not going to be an easy task right there. So I think if the Bengals are smart, they'll try to rest him at least this week to help him get a little bit healthier. So that way, you know, going into the playoffs, he'll be healthier. He'll be able to be there. But we've said it before too. The other thing with Jamar Chase, he's a boomer bust player up and down. So they could also try to use him maybe this week as a decoy.
Yep. I mean, I've never been. As I get a notification in another league.
Uh-oh.
A trade has been proposed to you. Let's just see. In another league, I have Derek Carr for Mike Evans. Oh, yeah.
You would be giving up Mike Evans?
I would be giving up Mike Evans for Derek Carr. That is officially one of the dumbest trades I've seen.
Yeah, that's a straight reject right there.
Yeah. I believe that. I think that he's been trying to get Evans. I think that one guy is the same guy that offered me Kamara for Evans. That one I regret.
Yeah, that's an interesting trade.
Then again, back then I think I had let's see. I had a couple healthy players. Justin Fields was healthy. I think Nick Chubb was healthy. Bijan Robinson at the beginning of the year looked better. So I mean, yeah, whatever.
All right, so moving back over here to Shawn's team, Jonathan Taylor, he's getting again good usage. He's seeing 5 targets here. You know, so it's a very good thing for him. And I think there was a play that I think it was the footballers they were talking about last week or 2 weeks ago. He went down, took a tackle, and then came up kind of limping off of the ankle. And, you know, he's been dealing with ankle injuries before, and that's what kind of this offseason was for him too. But, you know, he after the game was asked about that. He said, no, he's fine. He's healthy. He was able to, I forget what it was, like do toe taps or something like that. But he's got a pretty rough week up against New England. You know, we all know, we've said it before, New England is they're pretty good at taking away the number 1 option, and I think obviously on the Colts it's going to be Jonathan Taylor. But then he gets the week 11 bye, another player with a late season bye. So I think that'll help him in terms of healing up if he needs to heal up, but it'll give the offense a chance to adjust also, like anything that they feel they need to fix, you know.
I'll just say that you look at this past game here, he has 5 targets, caught all 5. It's only 22 yards, but he's getting receiving work, something we did not see him get.
Well, that's Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew spreads it around.
And then I believe it was the footballers, I think it was last week, might have mentioned that I think the Colts were the fastest pace of play. Yeah. I believe they had, anytime they were playing a game that was, you know, you're going to get a lot of possessions in. So that's really great for fantasy football, even if you're the opposing team. Yeah,
I agree. Besides that, you know, Mark Andrews, 12.5 points. staying consistent. I think you're going to ride him out. That's great to see there. He's pretty much the top receiving option for the Baltimore Ravens. Mike Evans, same thing, 11.7 points. He's getting the usage. Again, Baker Mayfield, I think this is his favorite target here. And then Adam Thielen, I think Shawn mentioned it already, just a down game. Bryce Young, I think, will still look to throw the ball his way, no matter what the matchup is. And it's just a matter of, is he going to be efficient or not? Besides that, the only other thing I would suggest, and Shawn might agree with me, Wan'Dale Robinson, with Daniel Jones going out for the season with an ACL tear.
Drop.
Yeah,
all Giants players
straight drop.
Just drop.
So he can't even. I don't even think you can package him in a trade, because we don't even know what it's gonna look like with their quarterback. Their current backup quarterback is on IR still, so they're playing the third stringer, and it's gonna be rough.
They're done.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough.
Done.
So
they're done, and we'll see if they fire the coach. Not even his fault.
No. But yeah, that'll be it for this Week 9 recap. Congrats on your win here, Manny. Good luck to you. Better luck to you next week, Shawn. But yeah, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.